Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew. And this week on the Toy Rewind, we're doing a quick trip back to 1985. We're looking at some toys that came out back then, but here's a few things that happened in 1985 to get your mindset right for that year. Don't Mess with Texas became the anti-littering campaign for Texas. I've always known that to be the anti-littering campaign for Texas. So, yeah, 1985. The Breakfast Club and Back to the Future hit theaters. Microsoft released Windows 1.0, and the host of the Tonight Show was Johnny Carson. So a few things that happened. Along with that, the M.U.S.C.L.E figures were released. I remember a little of having these, but I didn't really remember much about these until we decided we were going to talk about them. So it should be a good week for everybody to learn some stuff. And I know some people within our group that have some of these now. We hopefully maybe we'll be able to talk to them this week. So before we get into that, John, why don't you give us your social? Give us our socials.
Alrighty, so check our website out, toyrewindpodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Toy Rewind Pod. Join in the conversation on our Facebook group. We're also on Twitch at twitch.tv/Toy Rewind Pod. Twitch and Facebook are where we do our toy box showcases, so check those out. And then we also put everything to our YouTube channel. Hopefully Andrew's got that all caught up and everything. You can check our podcast bingo.com/Toy Rewind to play some bingo while you're listening to us to see if you can get a bingo. And of course you can email us. Yeah. Email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, so check those out. Be sure to follow us. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. We actually had a contest going for this week based off of our Fun for All question that we're about to talk about. I'm sad we didn't get any entries. Nobody wanted to guess what our favorite Whataburger order was. So, I don't know why. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're pretty easy. But so, yeah, getting into that, we did talk about that a little bit last week. We're going to talk about our favorite Whataburger orders, what they would be, and this is going to be our question for all the new people coming on. Any guests that we have that have been to Whataburger. So before we do that, I'm with you guys. I got to go back to this.
Thank you.
The close up.
We
were having some fun goofing around. Yeah, it's too much. Like too close. So, all right. So yeah, Michael, we'll start with you. I did see you had a drink. You took a drink, and that looked like a Sonic cup to me.
It was Sonic. We went and got drinks, so we went to Sonic. And
I was like, yeah, that looked like a Sonic cup. Didn't look like a Whataburger cup, but that's all right. So, all right, what is your favorite or your go-to Whataburger order, Michael?
My go-to it's number 4 jalapenos and cheese Whataburger. With onion rings and a large Dr. Pepper.
Not a Diet Dr. Pepper?
No, that's what Rainey gets. I forgot. Yeah, Rainey gets Diet. I get regular.
All right.
I don't know why I said that.
John?
Mine's a number 2 because I like the extra patty in there. But no onions, no tomatoes. Add bacon and jalapenos. So almost the same thing as Michael,
and jalapenos.
Except I want the double patty. Large fry, large Coke.
Yeah, so mine's kind of like yours, John, except without the jalapenos. I got a number 5, which is only one patty, but you can add a patty for like, I don't know, it's not much. So I get a number 5, mustard all the way with fries. Sometimes I get the onion rings, but most of the time I get fries. And then if I'm in the mood, I will get an extra patty. I just don't have jalapenos on mine.
I guess I'll have to check out the pricing on it. Actually, adding the patty compared to getting the double Whataburger.
And then, so adding the patty on a number 5, you'd also have to add the jalapenos because I don't get jalapenos. I like jalapeno.
Number 5 has bacon on it, right? That's
it's got bacon
one.
on it, so you wouldn't have to add the bacon.
Right.
So either way, you're going to have to add something. But
Right.
you know,
I'll get that every once in a while, but my go-to is the jalapeno cheese one. Yeah,
that's my go-to, unless I'm sending somebody who doesn't remember that I like a number 5, and I just tell them to get me number 1. And I'm just like, just give me number 1. Just make it simple. It's a Whataburger.
If it's someone you don't know, just give me a number 1. We'll be good.
Yeah. It is funny. So this past week, after we talked about it last week, I texted y'all, and I was like, I'm gonna figure out what y'all's were. I was half or slightly right on both of them. John's had jalapenos on it, and Michael, I got your onion rings. I knew that you had onion rings. The jalapenos, I didn't think about you having jalapenos, but yeah, it makes sense. I just didn't think about it. So there it is. If you are gonna go and buy the Brothers Newland Whataburger, that's what you get us. We'd be much appreciated. It's going to be cold by the time it gets to somebody. So start in Tyler and then work your way to Jacksonville. Or Tacula, or wherever you're at, Michael. I don't know. All right. Nope. We got a notification. What was that? Somebody get a notification?
It was my phone.
Oh, of course. That was
a
phone.
Or something.
That was a phone. All right. If you want to let us know what's your favorite Whataburger, no, don't let us know because you may be a guest, and then we're going to ask you, and then you'll tell us then. So don't tell us unless you really like what we like, and then you can let us know. So we found out this past week what Larry likes because we had him on. It's been a fun week. So all right, let's dig into some muscle figures. I do have to say I know Ed, who's probably listening, has some of these. He sent us a picture when we sent him some stickers of his muscle figures holding his stickers. So I know he has some muscle figures. Now the question is, I'm going to talk to him this week. Maybe we can have a live with him to show off his muscle figures that he has.
That'd be cool.
I want to know if they're like from '85 or if they're some of the newer ones. So interesting stuff. But we'll get into that. Michael, you're our historian. You know the history on all these because you're old. So if you could give us a history on these things, where these things
I'm old and I've got the wisdom.
I mean, I guess.
All right. So these guys were called here in the U.S. They're called M.U.S.C.L.E, which means it's a thing where there's an acronym. Is that what it's called?
It's a thing.
Yeah.
There goes the wisdom.
I don't know if I got that. Yeah, I'm not wise in that area. So, but it stands for millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere.
Yep.
So I don't know where they come up with that, but that's what they came up with. Because they're all wrestling figures, so they had to come something for muscle. So
I feel like somebody said, "Hey, call these muscle figures," and somebody goes, "Let's make an acronym," and they came up with words for it. Yeah. It's not like somebody made up this name and was like, "Oh, that's an acronym for muscle."
Yeah.
I feel like they started with muscle and went from there.
Yeah. Right. So, all right. So the story of these, they're actually 2-inch tall Keshi figures, is what they are. Starts back in 1978 in Japan. So Keshi translates into eraser gum, but it's neither eraser or gum. But that's what it translates into English. It's actually a soft rubber or plastic figure that you can purchase out of gumball machines like gumballs, football helmets, or little bouncy balls, whatever. You put a quarter in and it comes out at the grocery store. So that's what Keshi means. So in 1978 in Japan, there was a comic named Kinnikuman, which translates to Muscle Man.
Okay,
that's where they got the name for.
Did you look up how to pronounce all these names?
No,
because I meant to. Because I was like, we're gonna butcher these.
Well, Kinnikuman. I mean, it's just kind of some of these are just pronounced the way they're spelled. So I've heard other people say it. I've watched some YouTube videos and they say it exactly the same as I'm. So which makes it a lot easier. So, so the comic storyline follows a muscular superhero named Suguru Kinniku, who finds out he's the lost prince of the planet Kinniku. And so the planet is where all the greatest superheroes come from. So Kinnikuman has to fight his way through a tournament in order to prove his worthiness in order to rule the planet. So they have to make him prove that he's the heir prince of the planet. So he has to go through all this tournament type style things, kind of like Mortal Kombat, I guess.
I was about to say this is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. But by 1983, Kinnikuman was so popular that they made an anime cartoon in conjunction with the 2-inch toy line, because every cartoon back in the 80s had to have a toy line to go with it, or the toy line had to have a cartoon with it to sell it. So the cartoon actually had 137 episodes over a 3-year period. Now the 2-inch toy line launched in 1983 in Japan by Bandai. The line was licensed to Mattel in 1985, and for marketing in the U.S. and Canada. Mattel renamed the line M.U.S.C.L.E, and it introduced the 236 different figures in the line. So they had 236 official figures. They had a board game that came with it. They had a Nintendo Entertainment System game. There was a championship belt figure holder, which was a big, like a wrestling belt, and it had a little space in the middle of it where it holds a couple of figures. And then a wrestling ring playset, which was similar to Rock'em Sock'em Robots, which you put your figures in there and they just kind of bang up against each other, until one falls out of the little grasper, and then you win. So that was basically what the toy line was. So Mattel, they had to make the line more consumable for the American audience. And the cartoon was too violent, or so they thought was too violent to issue here in the U.S. So instead of redoing the cartoon or coming up with something different with the comic book, they decided to go a different route. So Mattel ditched all the previous established context, because all these figures actually had names to them in the Japanese world. So they decided to scrap all that, and then they ran with the idea of just collect them all, because there were so many of them, you had to collect them all. So the advertising plan was pretty, and I remember these commercials back in the day. Was they had these figures invading Earth, and the only way to save Earth was to collect them all. So you had to grab them all up to save the world. So
this is completely like Pokemon. Got to collect them all. Got to get them all.
It's like Pokemon, like that. So we had more Mortal Kombat, and now we're into Pokemon, on all this. So and with the Rock'em Sock'em Robots in the middle.
All of it right in the middle.
So the packaging on these consisted of the regular packaging had 4 random figures in each package. There was also a 10-pack and a clear trash can container.
Opaque. It was semi-clear.
Yeah, it wasn't quite clear, but it was.
You couldn't tell which ones were in it.
You could see there was some in there, but you couldn't see which ones. Yeah, and then they had 4 different 28 packs, which had certain figures in each set. So they had there was only 2 of them in the U.S. line that actually had names. You had Muscle Man, which was the main good guy, Kinnikuman. So his name was Muscle Man, and then they had the main bad guy, who was Terri-Bull. It was his name. And go back with the naming of toys back in the day, characters. Terri-Bull
always
was a terrible name. So
Terri-Bull, yeah.
But let's see. So after they released, so all these lines or all the figures were monochromatic, which means they were just one color. That's it. They had no other features. It was just all one color. They didn't have any paint or anything on them. And it was a bubblegum flesh color is what the first release was. But after that, Mattel decided, let's do it in different colors. So they added different colors, and most of them, I think there was about 8 different colors. I think what I saw was 9, but when I was going back and looking at the figures, I only counted 8 different colors. I never saw a 9th color. But if you do, and a lot of them only had 6 or 7 recolors, and some of them had 8. but it just, if you do six or six or more on a lot of them, that's a lot of figures. So you multiply 236 times 8. If they all had 8 different colors, or times 6, even, if they at least had 6 different colors.
It's going to be hard to collect them all.
That is,
especially if you have to get all the colors.
Yeah. So by 1988, the enthusiasm and the enormous amount of figures to collect like that, the line kind of fizzled out a little bit. So 1988 was the last of the original line of these. But they were 1986 when they came out in the U.S. They were one of the toys of that year. So let's see. The 28 packs. I said there was 4 different packs that came out. There was a Thugbuster set, a Cosmic Cruncher set, a Mighty Mauler set, and a Cosmic Showdown set. So that was those 4 different.
I like the term Thugbuster set. Yeah. Just Thugbuster sounds awesome to me. So these, like the 28 packs, it's just a big box. It looks like they could put a board game in the bottom of it and just have a bunch of figures for the board. Nice little figure. That's what I would want to get now if I was going to get any of these, just because you get so many of them pretty easily. So
that board game that they had with it, you put your characters, your figures up on the sides, and then you would probably pick one and put it down inside, kind of like Gladiator style. They'll be standing there in the middle, and you had a little spinner, and it gave numbers, and whoever had the highest number won that battle, and whoever knocked out all the other opponents' figures was the winner of the game.
This is somewhat Dungeons and Dragons type thing. When you put characters up against each other, and you have to roll you got to roll a dice in Dungeons and Dragons, but you're spinning something that's making your fate. It's not like you have a card that says, "Hey, this character always has this strength" or something like that. So, the pictures of the board game, it's kind of really interesting. And then, so the board game came with some characters, and then you could just add any of the rest of them to it. So it's a nice little addition there that you could just have basically whoever you wanted as part of your board game.
They had a mail-in for a collector's poster that had all the figures on it. The poster had 233 figures on it. And then you add the 2 that came with the board game, which was Kanikimon or Muscle Man and Terri-Bull. You had an extra version of those 2 in there, so that gave you 235. And then there was another one that came out that wasn't on the poster. It was an official figure, but for some reason it wasn't on there. Maybe because his name may not have been able to put on there. I'm trying to remember what it's. Went too far on my notes. His name is Satan Cross, so maybe that's why they didn't put it on there. So
Satan Cross, he doesn't make it. Just looking at this poster, I mean, it's very, very 80s. You've got the big bangs in the background that are multiple colors, lots of gradient, so many different colors. Like, it's just crazy. And then it looks like, so Skylanders, when they came out for that video game, every time you would get, when you got the main board, you got a poster that had all the Skylanders on it, and you can check them off. That's what this looks like.
Box in there.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out if it had check marks. I can't see it clear enough, but that's what it looks like.
It's got the little white box.
It's got a little box you can check off when you get that figure. Yeah.
So
that was the only full list at the time to make sure if you had everybody.
Well, that's what you had back in the day. Even going back my baseball card collecting days, you had your checklist and you would use that to check off. You didn't have all this Excel files or the internet to look up stuff or anything like that. Like
the internet didn't exist to Americans.
Or you had, and you didn't have websites that keep track of all your die casts when you need it. So thanks to Andrew, I do have that. So appreciate that.
All right, what else do you have? Some more to talk about these, because I want to look at some of these and just talk about them individually.
Now we can look at them individually. Yeah. The colors. I mean the colors.
Talk about the colors.
I think Wikipedia, when I was looking at it, I think it said 9 different colors. But as I was looking at this other page that's got actual figures on it. I only saw 8 colors. So there's flesh, light blue, red, salmon, orange, purple, dark blue, magenta, and green. Those were the 8 colors that I saw.
Okay. Yeah, those are. I mean, decent colors for back then.
Mhm.
Yeah, magenta. Everybody knew what magenta was back in the 80s. All right, let's
light purple. I don't know why you could say light purple, but it's magenta.
It's magenta. Let's talk about some of these individual ones. I'm just we're going to share what you're looking at here, Michael, so we can kind of glance at some. But I'm just going to pick some to talk about. Let's talk about M.U.S.C.L.E. Man and Terri-Bull real quick. Those are the main two. So M.U.S.C.L.E. Man,
right here,
M.U.S.C.L.E. Man is number 1, right? And Terri-Bull is number 2. So you just got this guy who. Is there a spike coming out of his head?
On which one? On
like
M.U.S.C.L.E.
Man?
Yeah.
No, he's got like a mohawk.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Like
Mohawk
it's just hard to
it's a
see
spike.
unless you probably have
a spiky mohawk type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't see any from the back. It's hard to.
But he does have a funny look on his face.
So what I read is he doesn't have he's wearing it's kind of a lucha libre mask.
Yeah.
But it's not even a mask. It is his face. He can't take the mask off. It's just his face. So, which doesn't make any difference because he's all one color. So what is it, if he's wearing a mask or not? So he's got a cape on. He's got some muscle. I mean, he's muscle man. He's got some muscles. All right. Now Terri-Bull, he's got a helmet. He looks like a bad guy. I mean, maybe not in the teal color, but definitely the red color looks like a bad guy.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Maybe the purple and the salmon color, maybe.
Maybe. The orange. Yeah. I would want all these in the original color. I don't know if I'd want them in all the different colors.
Yeah, the flesh color is what it's called.
Yeah, it's quite different. All right. So those two guys, and if you're listening to us, we're looking at them on the live stream. So you can go check us out on YouTube if you want to see the ones that we're talking about as we're talking about them. But we'll try to explain to them. Let's look at I believe it's where's it at? Number 5. Do you have number 5 on there, Michael? Sorry, I didn't go very far.
No, for some reason this list skips from 2 to 40 to 61. And then from there, it's every number after 61 to 236.
Number 5, the one that I'm looking at, looks like he's got a ball, like a soccer ball for a body or something. So that's.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
All right.
Some of these actually have different versions.
All right. Go back up. Look at number 70 right there. Number 70.
Number 70, right
so
here. Yeah,
this is the first one. This is the first one that jumped out to me, especially when you were talking about it, because I was looking at a guy like this. He's got multiple arms, but you said Mortal Kombat. I immediately thought about Goro, and I was like,
"This is Shoryumon B."
A Shoryumon B. Yeah, I mean, let's call him Goro. It's easier to say.
See,
you click on it and go to the next deal that kind of talks about them. It gives you their actual name.
Yeah, the letters that are assigned to them is what version that is. So this is B. Yeah. So actually, in the first part, I don't know why not all those pictures are missing there, but it's probably an A, which is just him in a different pose or something.
Yeah.
There is one guy. Let's see, this guy here, number 64. He looks like a brick. Looks like he's made out of bricks. And he's got a dot in the middle of his chest, a little hole. He has several versions where he's different.
Does he connect to something?
No. It's just it's that little circle in his chest is it's called Sun Chaser or something like that. But it just sucks all the energy out of his opponent and into him, and he gets their powers. So he's 60.
There is one of them that's got a hole.
Yeah, all those that have got that, it's the same character, it's just different forms.
No, there's one that's got like a hole in his belly or something. And the original Japanese version there's an extra set of legs that go through there.
Oh, okay.
But when they brought him over to America, they made him with the hole, but they didn't put the extra funding into actually making the legs.
Yeah. See, the Sun guy I was just talking about, number 107 is the same guy. He just looks like a upside down pyramid there.
Oh, I was the next one I was going to talk about. So it's the same one. He just looks
the same guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just in like different sunshine. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
195 is the same one.
Yeah. So
number 37, Dynamite Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say 137? Number 37. At least the list that I'm looking at. It looks. I'm assuming it's Dynamite Piper. He came from like Roddy Piper because he just looks like a normal wrestler guy.
Maybe, yeah.
So like I don't know.
It's number 99. That's the guy. Another version of that guy with the soccer ball body.
Oh yeah. There we go. All right, number 60, Mito, Mito, M-I-T-O. Looks like just like a small dude. And he looks like a smaller character, like a smaller. Keep going. A little more. Oh, it's not going to be there.
No, I got 40, 60, and 61 where it starts. Yeah.
So it just looks like a smaller guy. 62. 62. Look, 62 is right there on the screen. This is I feel like came straight from Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
There are
Sheik or Alien Sheik is what his name is.
There's a couple of them that are actually designed off of wrestlers from the time.
Yeah, that's some of the ones that I'm
trying to remember. I didn't write it down. I should have. But there's like 4 of them, I think.
We talked about a Shuromon. Sunny Gator is an alligator. Spray Majin he's a spray can. Number 74. Down one more, Michael. Number 74. Right. He's like a spray can.
Yeah.
Interesting little figures.
Spray Demon is his English name.
Spray Demon. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. What was that number? I gotta go back. Look at dang it. I lost it. 70. Keep going. Scroll down a little bit more. There it is. There she is. It's 80. Number 80. This is Rosie the Robot's evil cousin. That's the only thing I can think of. It looks like Rosie the Robot, but with legs.
The English translated name is Paper Mummy.
Paper
Mummy.
That's not a mummy.
More like Rosie for sure.
That's a robot.
It looks actually, if you look at her close, she looks like a roll of toilet paper.
Oh my god, that's horrible. That's horrible. All right, let's see. Number 89, Watchman. Looks like a camera. Oh, I see the watch. His head is a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like his head is a digital watch, and then it looks like a camera underneath it.
Yeah, it does look like a camera. Yeah.
Let's see. Number 99, the Mari.
Yeah, that was the soccer ball guy.
Is that the soccer? So this one's like, yeah. So the other one, he had a few more like features off of him. He looked like his body was a soccer, but his head wasn't part of that either.
His anecdotal name or his nickname is Wilson or the volleyball. That's his nickname.
There you go.
But Tamari is his English name. Yeah.
Wait, Wilson?
That's what it says. Wilson or the volleyball.
Is that, you think that came because of
I bet people started calling him Wilson after Tom Hanks.
After Castaway? It took me a second to think of the name of it was. After Castaway?
Yeah, probably so.
Because if not, that would just, if like he was, that's just too much for me to think about right now. My mind's going to explode. All right, number 107, that's Sunshine in the Pyramid. See, the thing is, there's a bunch of different poses, but there's how many different people? Did you see that, Michael?
That didn't tell me how many different people. No.
All right. What about number 117, Roller Man?
117.
He can come wring out the clothes after they come out of my washing machine.
There's 117. Yeah.
Yep. Roller Man. And if he comes in, never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be nice. Let's see. Lots of them have capes. Junkman, number 127. He's got his hands look like cinder blocks. Kind of. I don't know what else to say.
His nickname is the one with the bigger weird hands.
The one with the bigger weird hands.
That's what he's called when you're looking for him. Somebody, yeah.
All right. And then we'll just jump right down to 128. The demon from my nightmares, Smile Man. He has smiley faces. Not only is his face is 3 smiley faces around it, he's got them on his body also. That's just terrifying.
Yeah.
There's a Cyclops. I just saw a Cyclops. Oh, no, he's not a Cyclops. Number 132, Screw Kid. His head is a bolt. Like
a screw, really? Yeah. You need a flathead screwdriver to defeat him.
Oh, is it a flathead? I couldn't tell what it was. I can't see the top. I can just see the
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other good ones? Bermuda. No, 137. Bermuda 3. You could probably defeat him with your Phillips head screwdriver. He's got a big X, like a big X in the middle of his face. Yeah. 138 is what is that
Personal
one?
Man.
Personal Man. Oh, okay. Personal Man.
It says possibly Personal Computer Man. So he looks like a computer.
Computer from the 80s. Yep.
His nickname was the Computer One. The
Computer One.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Friends TV episode. The one where they got a computer. Number 147, Iron Commando. He has a little hole in his chest. But it's not a full hole. It's just like a little spot in it.
Iron Commando. That's his name. Yeah.
Number 150, Apollo the Giant happens to be the Michelin Man's brother. He looks like tires or whatever the Michelin Man's supposed to be.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe it looks like Michelin Man with Andre the Giant head.
Oh yeah, with Andre the Giant's head. Yeah,
that's one. Yeah.
Number 153. This is the one that really stood out to me. It's a hand with Sunny Gator.
This one also has different versions of them earlier than this. This is his final look, his final form. Because he actually starts out like a sneaker, a tennis shoe, and he changes forms, and each form had shoelaces on them. And then by the time he gets to this final one, the shoelaces are gone. He's just a big hand.
So this we're also talking about, like he's this hand. So in final form, that's a Pokemon thing. So we're back to Pokemon. Interesting how all this runs. All right, so there's some of the figures. Just talking about some of those. I want to talk about the wrestling ring. The wrestling ring. This is what year did Rock'em Sock'em Robots come out? Like, how old is Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
It's been out for a long time.
Really old, right?
I can't remember.
So this ring is like an updated version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, except you can't knock their heads off. It's a little orange plastic piece. It has the ring in the middle of it, which looks like it has actual like metal bars around it that go around it. They may just be, string or whatever, but I'm just looking at the picture. And then it's got 2 joysticks on both sides. You pop your little guys into the little things that are inside the ring that your joystick then controls, and you just move it around. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to find.
Is it the first one to knock it out?
Yeah, the first one to knock the other one out.
Yeah.
Then I would want to set mine kind of at an angle a little bit, so his arm's a little further out. Or whatever.
You'll want one that's thick enough to fit in the claw pretty good too, because if you get like a skinnier one, it'd be easier to fall out.
Yeah, like the hand guy. What is he gonna? I don't feel like he's gonna do much.
He's not gonna fit in there very well.
No. So this is a great idea. Like you not only give people that's a chance to actually fight because you're little wrestling figures. You give them a way to do it. You can do this without it, but this is crazy. Anybody happen to see how much these sold for? The rinks?
I didn't get a price on the rink. No.
Let me see if
I
it's
didn't
on.
get price in the rink. I didn't see it.
I was going to look see if it's on this site that I'm on. Do not see a price anywhere.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots came out in 1964.
Okay, so yeah. So the wrestling ring came with 2 exclusive figures, Muscle Man and Terri-Bull. Neither of which were on the Muscle poster. Neither of these 2 were on the poster.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's 2 of the 3 that weren't on that poster. And those 2 were actually a little bit smaller than your normal figure too, as well.
yeah. So you've got those. That whole thing is pretty cool. All right, so let's talk. We already talked about the board game. Let's talk about the Battling belt. The site that I was on, that I got my information from, which we'll talk about in a minute. The way that they list this makes me laugh because it says the Muscle Battling belt was Mattel's pathetic attempt to make a carrying case for muscles. And to explain it, this looks like a WWF wrestling belt.
Uh-huh.
It's like black faux leather, and it's got 2 cases on the sides that hold a couple, like maybe 4 or so, that hold a few figures in them. And then right in the middle, it's got the big gold part that has a little case on it that holds a couple of figures. Yeah. But then they go on to explain it. Not only do you look like a doof wearing this, which is a very 80s word, but it only holds a few muscles. Like, it doesn't hold that much. So
yeah, that's like 2 or 3 or maybe 4. It's not. I mean, as small as they are, you figure to get more in there. But it's not. It can be bigger to hold more, but you can only get like 3 or 4 in there at the most. Yeah.
Cram them in there, right? The picture of this kid wearing it, just I wouldn't be caught dead wearing this thing. So sad. All right, so that's the belt. It's amazing. We talked about the poster. All right. Here's something, John. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember, or Michael? Do you remember the Nintendo game?
No, I don't remember the Nintendo game, but reading up on it, it
wasn't a very good game.
The worst game ever produced.
I don't know about the worst game ever produced. I remember playing. Well, okay, maybe for NES, because I was going to say I remember.
Yes.
I have played the ET game, so I'm not going to say the worst game ever produced, but yeah,
ET was one of my favorite games. So,
I've played this game before. We didn't have it, but I have played it at a friend's house within the last decade. I'll say that.
Wow.
So it's very interesting. It is not a great game, but it's also kind of campy and fun to play at the same time. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, let's see. This right here, Muscle represents some of the worst of license laziness on the NES. So
yeah,
they didn't put much into this to actually make it into a game. And yeah.
I mean, when you look at what could come out on the NES, you've got Zelda, and then you've got this. Like,
I mean,
yeah, you got one extreme to the other.
Yeah, the Turtles game, Zelda. Yeah. I mean, there was plenty of. They had plenty of deals, stuff to do better than.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to play, I mean, this is a wrestling game, but if you wanted to play a game that was better than, I mean, just go get you Punch. Like, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot better. But it's like I said, it's kind of campy, and interesting to play. But
now, are the characters all one color like they are in the toys, or are there some color to them?
No, there's some color to them.
There's some color to them.
You can play it a couple different things. So you've got the main rink, which I believe it's got a blue like background, and then the floor is white, and then there's a tealish color floor that you can wrestle on, and then there's another game that did this. Like it's the same
boxing game.
No, it's not Punch Out, but it's the same. Like it's this. Oh yeah, this looks like it, but it's the same backgrounds. It's just different, like solid colors that they change things out. And I think it's a soccer game or something, and you're supposed to be in like different areas, different lands, because the background's gray or blue or something. Yeah. So I don't know how much this video game. I would definitely buy it. Oh, John's got it. He's showing it to us. I would definitely buy it and play it again, maybe once, if it was like 99 cents. Any more than 99 cents, I'm not playing this game.
So there's showing the different colors.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's the different colors, just like you're supposed to be at a different place. So, yeah, very very interesting game there. It's kind of cool. We're getting to that. Well, I guess because we're jumping around the toy lines, but you get into these later toy lines that not only have the cartoon but also have the video games that go along with them. And this is one that probably failed in both of those. So. All right. Was there one? Oh, did you talk about the super rares, Michael?
No.
Okay, let's talk about the super rares. Do you have much on super rares?
I don't know.
All right, let's see. There's a few super rares in these. Black Hole, who it's Sunshine, and he's got a big hole in the middle of him. It's the one you were talking about, John. Then there is Dr. Bombay. He's a super rare. He looks like a guy in a cloak. Spinning head, Ashuramon, so his head would spin.
Huh.
He had like three faces on it. Like his had three faces. His
The
head would
extra figure wouldn't spin, but in the
no. It would. The action figure would spin too.
Oh,
yeah.
would they do that? Okay.
So yeah, because it basically was his head would come out and it was just like basically set in there enough and you could spin it. Yeah. So then there's different colors, a couple different colors that are just some of the characters were super rare in specific colors.
Yeah. And not all of them were in every color. So
right.
All of them were in the flesh color, and then when they come out with the others, not every one of them was in every color after that.
Yeah.
So
most of them had the colors. All the colors you get most of the colors out of them, but maybe not all of them. So those are just some of the super rares. I'm going to talk to, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to talk to Ed, see what he's got, and see if we can take a look. Maybe he's got some of these. So, all right, you guys anything else?
The thing about buying these things when you bought your little 4-packs, which were actually 99 cents in the day, you get 4 for 99 cents. They were just randomly packaged, so you actually had to dig through there and look and see whether or not if you needed a pack that had 2 that you needed, or maybe 1 that you needed, whether it was worth it buying the other 3 that you didn't need. But if you did that, you can also use that for like trade bait. You and your buddies can go back and forth and trade the different figures. Yeah. Like you may have something they don't have, so you just kind of make a deal to trade them. So, but like I said, the only things that were specific were the 28 packs. But when you get into the 10 pack and the 4 packs, they were just randomly inserted. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so you get multiples and multiples of the same one if you don't watch out what you're buying.
So, what do you have up there, John? Because I was just looking.
These were another came out later on.
Yeah, so this is what I was about to mention.
Yeah, so these are the WWE muscle line.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what year these came out?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Super 7, so they're recent.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you can get recently. There's a lot of Marvel ones, WWE. There's Moto. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones that are not just muscle. They're muscle. They're the same kind of figure.
Those are all super because Super 7 is doing. They do a lot of these retro toys, bringing them back with some new modification stuff like some of them they've got extra articulation and stuff on some of the other figures, but these they can't bring back the original figures because those are Bandai products property, so they couldn't do that. So they were teaming up with other toy lines, kind of kit bashing them and making those into, like you said, Motu. They got little figures for Motu, and then like you said, they have the wrestling one. There's I think Alien. The movie Aliens, they have that one. There was I think I saw that picture, but I don't remember. There's like 5 or 6 different ones that Super 7's come out with over the last few years. So just recent,
I like that they're doing that kind of stuff, doing some recent stuff, and just bringing it back. with different things. Like because I was looking at getting some of these, but I couldn't find the original muscle ones. I didn't really look on eBay, I'll be honest. But some of the ones that I was looking at were the new like the Motu and stuff like that. I opted not to get them because I needed to buy other Batman figures. But
yeah, I came across these the WWE ones at my buddy's shop. So
yeah,
I didn't purchase any of them yet.
So yeah, it's kind of cool where you can get those in different pop culture. So it's kind of a cool thing. Real quick, we do have 4 rounds of our game to play today. We do need to rank these, but real quick, something else we want to do and let you guys know where we get some of our information. I know Michael spent a good amount of time on Wikipedia this week looking at information for these. Mental Floss is a good site that we get a lot of information from. Michael, you also mentioned Toy Galaxy.
Yeah, Toy Galaxy. If you get a chance to watch his YouTube videos, they're pretty. I like watching. They're entertaining. They're funny, and he's got a lot of information that he gets out on that as well.
If you're looking for, I know the one that I spent most of the time on was Nathan's Muscle blog, which if you Google it, don't worry, it's not some guy trying to show off his muscles. He's showing off his actual muscle figures. So that's pretty awesome. Then there's the University of Muscle, which is a lot of information. It's a forum. I couldn't think of the word. It's a forum where there's people talking about it and everything like that. And then there's a site that kind of worries me a little bit to say it, but a site called littlerubberguys.com. And they have information not only on muscle, but some other ones. So that's where we're getting our information. Just in case you're wondering, we're not just making this stuff up. So, all right, we need to do toy rankings real quick. You guys know where this would fall for you guys? And I hope so. I mean, it's time that we're going to do that. So
yeah, these fall. I'm gonna put these for me. They're somewhere around 12 or so. I'm gonna say 12 on these for me.
Number 12. So let's see. So that is right under the WWF Superstars for you.
Yeah.
Okay, John. Before you rank these, I just want to point out something that if you've looked at our rankings, a few people would notice. We, even though we've listed 20-something toy lines here, as of right now, even though Michael just ranked these, we all have WWF Superstars listed as number 12. So I don't know, like everything's so different and everything like that. So Michael just pushed his down. So if you go above 12, they will stay equal. I just want to point that out. I don't know if that's going to influence yours.
I'm not going above 12. I'll put them down there with the Smurfs. So
down there with the Smurfs, you don't even want to tell me a number.
Right below Smurfs, so it's like 16.
Below Smurfs. All right, I'm just going to write Smurfs.
Better put it at 18, I think.
Arrow 18. All right. For me, these are probably going to be 13 for me. 13 because, like I said, I do remember playing with some. I don't know if we had them. I don't know if we had many, if we had any, and it might have just been like thrown into a stocking or something while we had it. But I do remember having a few. Maybe I got them from friends. I don't know. Maybe it was like a trade thing. Maybe I got them out of, I don't know. I don't know where I got them. I just remember having, and I don't know who I had, but just a couple of them. So interesting stuff. All right, let's roll right into our Toy Truths game because we have four great rounds here of some great information that I found on these. Just to remind you, John, you are 1 episode behind. Michael's got 2, you've got 1, and I've got 1. And mine doesn't matter because I'm not going to win anyways. So 4 rounds, you guys could split this, or John, you should win it. That's what I want you to do. Just win it, okay?
We'll see.
Let's see. Round 1. Everybody have their chat ready to buzz in?
Yep.
All right, then here we go. Round 1, statement number 1. Originally, M.U.S.C.L.E was only produced in the color purple. Statement 2. M.U.S.C.L E was named one of the 10 best-selling toy lines of 1986 And statement number 3, M.U.S.C.L.E stands for millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere. And John's mad because Michael got buzzed in first.
Right.
Which one was it?
Number 1 is false.
Number 1 is false. Number 1 is false. Originally, they came only in the color
Bubblegum flesh.
bubblegum flesh. That's right. Hold on one second. So I need to open this up real quick. Sorry. There we go. Now I can look at some answers here. All right, round 2. Are you ready? Everybody ready? Round 2. Statement number 1, M.U.S.C.L.E figures originated in Japan. Statement number 2, genuine M.U.S.C.Ls also have a stamp on their backs of Y/S*N*T, which helps to identify bootlegs. And statement number 3, grape-colored M.U.S.C.Ls were also available, but only in mail-in offer. John, you got to get faster. Michael.
I don't read as quick as he does, I guess.
Let's see. Yeah, 3, the grape-colored ones, that one's false.
Number 3?
Yeah.
And number 3 is false. The grape colors were only available in the board game.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, we didn't talk about the bootlegs and the stamp on the back.
No, we didn't.
We should have talked about that. There was a stamp on the back of them, and those are how you could tell if the originals. I don't know why the bootlegs didn't just add the stamp. Like, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand. If they knew what the thing is to make an original, why don't they do it? I guess they didn't want to get in trouble for copyright things. So, but they're already bootlegging it, so I don't know why.
Yeah. All right, round 3, and it is Michael has 2, John has none. So we'll see how this one goes. Statement number 1. Mattel tried offering the figures in colors other than the standard flesh tone plastic, including dark blue, neon green, orange, and even pink. Statement number 2. M.U.S.C.Ls lasted for only a few years in Japan market, but still thrive today in the U.S. market. And statement number 3, Mattel never completely owned the M.U.S.C.L property. Some percentage of revenues had to be paid back to Bandai. And John, he got one.
So it's statement number 1.
Statement number 1. You said statement number 1 is false?
Yeah.
Statement number 1 is true.
I don't remember the neon green being one of the colors.
Yeah, it's green.
Yeah, it's neon green.
I guess I didn't say
green. Neon green. Where I pulled from, it said neon, but it was still green, and it was kind of neonish. Michael, do you have a guess?
Number 2 is false.
Number 2 is false. Number 2 is false. Actually, so it only lasted a few years here, but it actually is still huge over in Japan.
Yeah.
So, John, I think Michael wins this game.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
But we're going to do round 4 anyways, because that's how it works. Statement number 1, the board game had an image of a Terri-Bull on the outside, but used a different mold for the figure that you received with the box. Number 2, the M.U.S.C.L Badland belt was basically a carrying case for upwards of 25 figures. And statement number 3, M.U.S.C.L men or M.U.S.C.L things are small figures with an intergalactic wrestling theme. And nobody buzzed in? There he is. Michael?
I don't remember how many. I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say 2 is false.
You're going to say 2 is false? 2 is false.
Yes.
They only carried around approximately 10.
Yeah,
it was.
I know it wasn't 25 figures. That's what
it was 4 in each side and 2 in the front. Yeah. So, yeah, just a few things for us to chat about here. Have fun with our game. John, Michael did win that. So
yeah,
I squeaked by.
Squeaked by. It's okay.
If I didn't, those split seconds on the first 2, I knew those for sure. The others were.
Well, I'm glad I didn't really trick you up too much. All right, real quick, we need to go through some shout outs. Is there anything you guys want to add about M.U.S.C.L? These are cool little figures, actually. I think they're
they're pretty cool little collecting things. Yeah.
You know. So like I said, I'm gonna reach out to our buddy Ed. Shout out to Ed first off for sending me the link for the Funko Batman this morning before I saw it anywhere else. I know Michael, you tried to send it to me, but Ed already beat everybody to it. He's like, everybody's like, hey, there's a Batman. I need to send this to Andrew. So he sent it to me. I was able to purchase a Batman, a new Batman Imperial City from Funko. So looking forward to getting that in. So shout out to him for that. And just shout out for being a supporter, just flat out. Ed's great. And he's got some of these. We're going to talk about, see if we can get some photos at least and see what we can show you guys.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it.
Also, we'll do our quick shout outs. If you're listening, be sure you listen to the rest of our Nerd Unite group, including but not limited to, I'm going to say these backwards. I'm going to see if I can say these backwards. Secondary Heroes, Totally Rad Movie Podcast, Movie Retakes, Nerd Portraits, Nerdy Curious, STS Guys, Three Beers and a Mic, The Four Dorksmen, Average Nerd Podcast, and Geek Together. And again, shout out to Larry for coming on with our live this past week to look at those visionaries that he found in his garage. Also, if you're looking for somebody to watch on Twitch to game, throw out some positivity, check out M.U.S.C.L.E over on twitch.tv/CS.Sully. He's great at everything. Again, shout out to M.U.S.C.L.E for coming on. And our Transformers episode. So if you're looking for something you want to listen to there, you remember Transformers, go check it out. John, and it's come to your amazing time now for you to give us all those social medias so people can follow us. What do you got?
All right, so our website, toyrewindpodcast.com. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at toyrewindpod. Of course, check us out on our Facebook and join into the conversations there. You can check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/toyrewindpod. We stream our Toy Box Showcase and on Facebook and Twitch. And then Andrew uploads them to our YouTube channel. You just have to search us out there. And then, of course, you can email us, toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Yes.
Be sure you follow us. Follow us on those socials, because we may have some interesting information and some new announcements coming in the coming weeks. So be sure to follow us. You're going to want to hear these. You're going to want to know what's going on and keep up with us. If you've made it this far into the podcast, I'm going to challenge to see if we can get some people tweeting to us. If you just send me an emote or an emoji, I'm trying to pick one, of an ant, as in like the little bug ant, A-N-T. I don't want to see any.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, like Ant-Man. I don't want to see any pictures of your Aunt Lucille or whoever. I want to see the little ant. It's a little black ant. Just tweet it to me. You don't have to write anything else on there. You just Toy Rewind Podcast or Toy Rewind Pod and an ant. I want to know who's listening and if you're out there. So send that to us, and maybe if you're lucky, we'll send you some stickers. We'll probably send you some stickers. And then with that, anything else you guys want to add before we roll this one out?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right. Well, then for episode 20, whatever we are on, 26. For episode 26, here at the Toy Rewind Podcast and the Brothers Newland, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.